All right, folks. Good evening. Hope you all are doing wonderful today, Friday. So let's get started. Let me share my screen. Just a quick confirmation that you all can see my screen, right? Can you hear me pretty well?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So as you can see in here, that and moving forward to where we left yesterday, we have these 10 backlogs. I told you to create these under product backlog. Right? Now in this, what you have is we got our 10 product backlogs. Okay. Right? Now in this, you can see here what all we need to put up here with these product backlogs is we need to make some more details. What are those details? First, there is some assignee. Now there are 10 backlogs. First, you have to assign 5 of those to yourself. Half will assign to some user, which would be you only. And the other half, other 5, we will go with unassigned. Next is story point estimate. Every backlog here will have the story point estimate, which is a number from 1 to 9. Could be more as well, but 1 to 9 generally we go. I'll tell you what this number means. I'm just putting a number here. One more detail I need to add here is configure priority. Now you will see priority here. Okay. So you can look for this priority and you can drag, drop. Right. This is what it is. Now if we come back, this is how it is. Now it is not necessary to do all of these things here. You can see all these are appearing here as well. You can make those changes from here if you want to. Let's say if you click here, put that number. The priority you can change from here. Highest, high, first. Right. Then this is something that how it should look like. Numbers you can have of your choice, no problems. Okay. But remember, we have to do all this under backlog, not under this. See, my sprint one is empty because we are creating product backlog. So product backlog is going to have all of these, right? Now the question is, what is this sprint backlog? Sorry, what are these story point estimates, right? What do we have in these story point estimations up in here? This one, okay? So these are story point estimates. This is how it goes. We have priority. Now question is, what is this number? Actually, what happens now? This is story point estimate. What happens with this story point estimate? Let's say I have one story point estimate is equal to one story point is equal to 7, right? Okay. Generally, one story point is equal to, you will have some measurement like, it's basically the measurement of effort. How much effort your team has put up into the implementation of this user story. Let's say I'm saying 4 hours. Effort as in what? I told you this earlier as well. Software development is all about converting this requirement or backlog as a feature or functionality in the application. Okay? right? That's how it is. So you have this up in here. So with this, how it's going to be up in here is one story point is 4 hours. So 7 as in 28 hours, which means to implement this requirement, all the efforts, design, development, testing, everything is going to take this. And this isn't just an estimation of your efforts. It's not that it's going to take that much only. It's just an estimation depending upon the previous experience of the team. They just decide among themselves that, okay, this implementation might take that much of effort. That is what the story point distinction. So it'll help us to plan our sprints accordingly. Because let's say if my sprint would be of 2 weeks. Now 2 weeks is equal to 10 days, Monday to Friday. One day is equal to 8 hours. So 10 days, making it 80 hours. So I know that I have 80 hours of work scope. Now, in that 80 hours, how much I can accommodate? First, I need to look at the priority. Like I need to pick up the ones which are having higher priority. Highest, high, medium, low, lowest. This is how the priorities assigned based onto the priority and the number where I have this is all about this. That's how it goes. Okay. So that is how the total duration will be. Like which user stories to accommodate can be calculated accordingly. Now, this is about the product backlog. Now, but see, yesterday I told you that we go with product backlog, and during the sprint planning, we come up with sprint backlog. Okay, that's how it is. It goes off. Okay, so for that, what we would do is there is one option. You click here, move work items. Okay. Or you can drag and drop. right? This is how you can do it. These are some ways to do it. Okay. So you went here, do this. And if you feel that, no, 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 if you feel that, no, I need to get this back, you can get this. This is one way to do it. Okay. Another way, the advanced way, they have now given you facility to create these backlogs in the sprint itself. So you click here and you can create one here itself. Like, let's say if I go with we go with set financial goal. Then we can add one here directly. Now this was product backlog. This is my sprint backlog, right? Now, when my sprint backlog is ready, what I can do is I can start my sprint. When I start my sprint, it is asking me for sprint name, duration, put that up. I would say, see, you'll have option 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. But due to the flexibility options, they have even started giving custom. So nowadays you can have even like 10 days, 8 days, 12 days, whatever you want. Just put that up in here. Standard durations are 1 to 4 weeks for a sprint. Okay. Ideally, go with 2 weeks. Now, when you start a sprint, it will take you to the board. Now, what is board? Board is basically where it gives you transparency to see how much of work is done, how much of work is pending. Now you can see here to do, in progress, and done. To do is all about what you're supposed to do in this sprint. In progress, what your team is working right now. Done, which is that particular backlog. A user story is completed. That's how it goes up. And it's all drag and drop. So you pick this up, put it up in here, just like that. Okay. Plus, here, if you'll click, it will tell you about the sprint details. You see here? We started today for 2 weeks. 2 weeks or 10 days. Today's day is going on, so we have 9 days left. So it's gonna end on June 20th. Similarly, like you can start this. And if something is completed, you can put that up here. So like that, it will go up. Okay. Now see, this sprint will go from June 6th to June 20th. Generally, we don't extend these sprints. It's not recommended. Even if you have something pending, right? Go about that. I'm just taking some time here. Things can be done like this. Even you can customize this board. That also I'll tell you. Okay. Just one more minute and then I'll just put this up in here and then I'll show you. Because see what happens now. If let's say this is the situation and let's assume why we just see you can extend it. It's not that. See, there are so many things that you can do here. Nowadays, they provide you a lot of flexibility with this. That's how it is. Let's say if this is the situation. And today is June 20th. Let's assume that. Okay. So you have two pending, two completed. 4 and 11 is pending. See what it is saying. Two completed work items, two open work items. Right? So you can create a new sprint for these open work items, or you can add these back to the backlog. Your choice. So let's say if you are adding that back to the backlog, which ones? 4 and 11. 1 and 5 is completed. See 4 and 11. Back to backlog. That sprint is completed. Even you can plan your sprints all in advance. Like let's say you have these many backlogs and you feel that okay, we'll need around 3 sprints. Then you can create 3 sprints all together. One, see this is number 2, created. One more, number 3, created. One more, number 4, created. That is how it is. Okay. Now you can add all of these. Sprint number 2, sprint number 3, sprint number 2. Okay, we got this all. Now you can start this sprint. 2 weeks. Now you can even customize this board here. See, let's say I want to see this coming in progress. Let's say we want to have more clarity onto this in progress. Design. One more. Testing. Okay. Now see, design would be in the beginning. Testing would be before done. You can even rename these. So let's say in progress. That's how it is. Now it gives you more clarity, right? So if I do this now, see, in fact, you can set these up in here. Like you can set the column limit. So if the column limit is 1 and there are more than these, it will go red, saying that, hey, you cannot accumulate more because development team, you have divided like max 1. So development team can work at a time only on 1. It allows you to add more, but it gives you red flag there that you are overburdening this team. Yeah, that's how it is. Okay, this is how it goes off. And then like you can set this up for like each of these column limit. You can set up like how many column limit is like how much of these they can do it in one time. And now it can be done, can be moving forward. That's how it could be taken care of. Similarly, here also you will see the same thing. Now we are starting this today for the demo purpose, all these sprints like one same day itself. That's how it is. Rate this. Now, see, now there will be two different. Now, if you try to complete the sprint now with this one pending in testing, see what it gives you. This time it will give you more options. Why? Because we have some of these sprint planned already. So your this remaining backlog, the pending backlog from this sprint, if you want, you can add that. Hmm, see, wait. Let's just get this going on. Three, four new sprint backlog. Three, four new sprint backlog. That is how it is. So I can add it back wherever I want to. But that's okay. We are going to complete it this time. Everything is completed. Now, if you do this, see, there's no pending work. And you say go. That's how it would be. Now we would start another sprint. Now see, every time we are coming back here, if you go to the board, see it is empty because this board gets reset every time there is a sprint ends. That's Agile Scrum. So every time a sprint is over, this is going to get reset. That is how it is. That is, go with that. This all you also have to do. You see, one, this is pending. Earlier it was in progress. Now it is coming in. Yeah, development directly because this is pending from the first one. 411, if you remember, two were pending. This is 11. Because wherever it got stopped, it will start from there itself. Like that. So you can look at these all options and you can keep doing that up in here. In fact, this time what we would do is we would, okay, that will do with the previous one. How many of those we have in here? Three, right? Okay. So we'll do one thing. We would, we would complete this. I would start with this up in here. Let's just keep going this. Let's say this is the situation. 'Let's say this is the situation. Complete. We're going to add that back to the spin number 4. That's all. You see, it is coming in development. Okay. Also, let's just now if we start this sprint. 2 weeks. See, the pending one, it is showing in the same phase. That is how it is going to be. Now, if you're checking in the backlog, it's all empty. This is the sprint which is ongoing. This is like ideally you have to do. You have to keep going with these sprints until unless this product backlog is empty. That's how it will all go off. We can even
Tonight,
yes, Parth, tell me.
sorry, my bad.
Okay, no worries. So you see that up in here? Okay. So this is how it is all looking up in here. So if you want, you can complete some. We'll do one thing. We will just leave it like this. Okay. And we will complete this sprint on Monday. Let's just keep it going like this only. How it affects the other things on Monday. We'll do this. We'll complete this on Monday. We're just leaving this up in here, having these backlogs being done. Now, for those, now you can see here one is right now going in. We'll complete this on Monday, this sprint 4. But what happened to the previously completed sprints? See, we completed number 1, 2, and 3. That you can check here in the reports. You click on this plus and click reports. You see, there are these types of reports that we have. You can move this section wherever you want to. You have run-up reports to check about the completed works and comparing how much we had to do. Burn down chart, the velocity, cumulative flow, cycle time and deployment frequency. Cycle time and deployment frequency is primarily for developers. But these you can check in here. Let's say if I go to this. See, it is showing that your sprint started. This is the sprint 4, which is ongoing. The ones that we completed, see what it is showing. That you started that sprint on 751. You had these 4. This was your total scope. Scope is the total of all these story point estimates for these user stories. And 53, you completed 1. So it went from 0 to 7 and 7 to 14. And then we stopped. We completed our sprints. Only 2 backlogs we completed. 2 were pending, 4 and 11. That's why it is saying that you had to complete 28, but you completed only 14. That's what it talks about. Yeah. And you see, right now it is going all in this vertical line. Why? Because this is just one day. We did everything in one day itself. That's why I am telling you that we're going to leave it for like 2 more days so that by Monday it will be here, here. So we'll be able to see like how this line goes off. Okay. This line is coming up based onto the story points. So we completed, as you can see, This is where the 14 is. See, here we completed everything. So it is showing the same number. 18 was your scope, 18 you completed. How you completed 18? You started at this time, then around 8:1, you completed this one, went from 0 to 6, then from 6 to 12, and 12 to 18. So all these were like 6, 6, 6, and you completed everything. So here it is showing all three. You can check that all of this. Sprint number 3, there was something pending. So it will show you like this. You have to complete 20, but you completed only 12. So 8 is pending. But this is your burn up, no? Burn up only talks about what you have completed. If you want to see what is pending, then you check that into burn down. Burn down talks about what is pending. See, incomplete work items. That is how it is. See here, incomplete work items. That's how it all goes out. So it will tell you everything about that. All of this available here. Everything we can check up this in here, right? This is your incomplete. You can go back to the reports. You can check for velocity. See, 3 sprints we have completed, how much we had to complete, how much we completed. If both of these are equal, which means you completed everything in that sprint, nothing was pending. These are like up and down, which means you had to complete this much, but you completed this much. And this is your average effort. And this gives you the report like for each sprint. So you can all check these. Generally, these are used by the managers to check like how much effort you're putting up in here, how much work done. They cannot go to each and every sprint. So they come back here in these reports and check like where it is pending, what, how much of effort if you want to see input up in there here, you can just do this and it will tell you like how much of the effort. So where like for most of the time, wherever these your backlogs were and all that. Okay, that is how it is. This is how it would be. So you also try that. See, one, we are anyway keeping it pending. This, we will look into that on Monday. Okay, like we'll complete this so that in the reports we can see some lines, more lines. Okay, let's just see how it, that's why I started this and I'm gonna keep this active for like Monday. So we'll see like how it is gonna go in there for these few days. Other stuff, I'll tell you on Monday itself. Meanwhile, you just try playing around, create sprints the way we did, run these sprints, complete some of those, look into the reports, and check all of that. Do we have any questions so far? All right, then yeah. If not, then we'll be calling it a day for today because I'm giving you some time to practice around this. Monday will continue from here itself. All right. Try to play around with this and see wherever you face any issue, if you face that I'm struggling here, take a screenshot, keep it handy, and show me when we meet next. I can tell you what was the error. All right. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Then yeah, try to give it a shot and we'll meet on Monday now. Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right. Have a wonderful weekend, folks. Thank you so much for joining today, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye, folks. Take care.